In a tattoo parlor on trendy South Beach,
You did the 666 really big? Yeah.
sat the daughter of the man who claims to be God.
He's back. He's here to teach us that we should reign in life, that there is no sin, and today we're honoring him with this symbol.
Joanne de Jesus is one of several dozen members of a religious sect called Creciendo en Gracia, or Growing in Grace. They were tattooed on their arms, ankles, even their necks with 666, the biblical sign of the Antichrist. Why? Because their spiritual leader says he is the Antichrist, not the embodiment of evil, but rather the second coming.
666, Antichrist means do not put your eyes on Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Put it in Jesus after the cross.
And that's you.
That's me.
Andy says the word Antichrist is a bad translation of a word that actually means the new Christ, the second coming. Puerto Rican-born Jose Luis de Jesus Miranda founded the sect 20 years ago in a warehouse outside Miami.
You receive it, you accept it, you confess it, and it's done unto you.
The charismatic 61-year-old de Jesus claims millions of followers, most in Latin America. His sect does have hundreds of churches, cable TV stations, and says it brought in $1.4 million in donations last year. And he boasts of a rapidly growing presence in the United States. In an interview with us in September, he declared,
I do greater things than Jesus of Nazareth, much greater.
now sporting his new tattoos,
666, triple S. Huh?
De Jesus says those expecting the second coming of Christ on a cloud with angels have misinterpreted what Jesus himself said.
He said it. You won't see me anymore because he will come in another body, which is me.
He's in their head. He's inside the heads of those people.
De Jesus is dangerous, says religion professor Daniel Alvarez, because he believes he's God.
And these megalomaniacal moves are the ones that are very disturbing because it shows that he does believe his own hype and he's capable of saying to his members, go tattoo 666 on your arm. I believe he's also capable of asking his church members to do even something more dramatic than that.
De Jesus laughs at the implication.
They always say those things. They're going to keep waiting for me to kill everybody, you know.
Right.
I'm giving life to people.
De Jesus is referring to the suicide deaths of more than 900 killed in the so-called Jonestown massacre nearly 30 years ago. But he says mass suicide would never happen with his followers.
If somebody tells us, listen, drink some Kool-Aid and then we'll go to heaven, that's not true. We are already in heavenly places.
De Jesus preaches that heaven can be found here on earth simply by following him. There's no sin and there is no hell. And that's part of why he's attracting so many followers. But marking your body with 666 seems an unusual way to show you're a Christian, even unnerving the tattoo artist.
I see you wearing a cross.
Protection.
John Zarella, CNN, Miami Beach.
Yo, what up, niggas? It's your buddy Philko here, and let me come off by saying, yo, I'ma just be honest. Cult leaders get ass. I know that's not what everyone's focusing on right now, but to be honest, trust me, cult leaders get ass for real. I mean, for real. That is the #1 way to get ass, is being a cult leader. #1, better than being a rock star or porn star, doesn't matter, because cult leaders have no rules. They make their own. They live by no one else's rules, man. Cult leaders, yo, they get the most. But now let's get to the video. Another interesting thing I want to say about this is, I'm sure a lot of you religious people are watching this and you're like, oh, they're crazy. Why do they believe that? Blah, blah, blah. But just to be honest with you, you see how a lot of you religious people look at these people as kind of like something's wrong with them and they're kind of crazy? This is how a lot of non-believers look at you. Like, not trying to be mean, not trying to say that atheists think that religious people are evil and they want to do bad things. No, it's just like that question you would ask. Like, religious people look at them, it's like, why the hell would they believe that? That's exactly how atheists and agnostics feel when, like, people go to church and pray. It's like, why the hell would they believe that? Like, that feeling you have when you see them getting the tattoos and hear them talking about what they believe, it's like, this is the weirdest shit. That is how a lot of atheists and agnostics feel. Non-believers in general, that's kind of how they feel. It's like, what the hell? You know what I mean? But at the same time, who are we to say these people are wrong? That their religion's wrong? How can we prove their religion wrong? Tell me. We can't prove their religion wrong. We can't prove this guy isn't the devil. We can't prove that whatever they believe in their religion is wrong. We can't prove it. So I guess it's true, right? Right? Well, those are the arguments that a lot of other people use, but you don't want to use those arguments for religions you don't like or cults you don't like. I really don't see the big deal here. Honestly, I don't see the big deal at all. I'd let it go on because to me it's the same thing as church. No one's getting hurt. They're following their beliefs and they're living their lives within the law. I don't see the problem. 666, if it offends you, well, hell. You know what I mean? I really don't have a problem with what they're doing. I want in. Get me in. Like, I don't want to be one of the fucking followers. I want to be one of the leaders. I have my own goals and missions in life. But anyway, I'm just saying, the same way you look at them is how we look at you. That's basically how that goes. And I guess that's all I have to say about this. No, I have more. Latin Americans, man. Latin Americans are like the most Latinas, whatever. They're the most like faithful people ever. Like, I remember watching something on a Discovery Channel how some Latinos actually nailed themselves to a cross to feel the pain Jesus felt. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You'll never catch a black person doing that. You know, we might draw a picture, you know, of it and like, oh yeah, I feel it. I feel it. But other than that, we ain't really gonna fucking do it. You know what I mean? They love Jesus. Or anything that deals with Jesus, they're just really big fans of it. I think Mexicans too. They're very religious, man. They're more religious than black people. They definitely love the whole God thing more than black people. Because any Hispanic guy, like friend I've had growing up, and I went over his house, his mother had Jesus everywhere, and all of them fit it. There's no exceptions. Their mothers had Jesus everywhere. It's like in America, if you're a mom and you speak Spanish, you love Jesus. It's almost certain, you know, almost certain. And usually the Jesuses and stuff, you know, they're white. You know, they got the blonde hair, blue eyes, and all that stuff. And that's interesting because I have a friend named Steve who's black, like he's Haitian, like he's real dark black. Him and his mom, they're like dark black people. But when you go over his house, you see white angels. You see white, like everything's white, and it's like nice stuff, you know. It's just interesting how it's so rare to find black people with angelic symbols that look like themselves, but you know, it's white symbols. Kind of tells you something, that it's like something given to you during slavery. You know, I might get into that later, but anyway, this shit crazy. That dude you're seeing right now is getting mad ass, and that's basically it, people. I'm out. Later.